Hi, everyone. My name is Jesse Robbins, and welcome to LPLE from Dialogue FM. We're the podcast that lets you practice listening in English. We speak English slowly and clearly so that you can follow along and understand native English speakers more easily. I'm excited to help you improve your English listening skill, as well as help you learn new vocabulary, grammar, and idioms commonly heard in conversations among native English speakers. If you want to practice listening in English, then we invite you to join our conversation. Hi, Jane.
Hi, Jesse.
Happy New Year.
And same to you.
Good. It's now early January of 2017. How is your first couple of weeks in 2017 going for you?
It's going all right. We have a new administration coming in a few days, and everyone is a little nervous, I think. Other than that, everything has been pleasant. A lot of us travel during Christmas, and so I experienced some delayed flights. I had to give up some driving in Colorado because of the snow, but in general, it was nice. But I ate so much that I am glad to be back in my old routine. How about you?
Well, first, it's worth clarifying that when we talk about new administration, new presidential administration, we have a new president coming in to office next Friday. Yes, our entire nation is very nervous. Some are scared nervous. Some are excited nervous. Well, we'll just have to wait. We'll talk more about politics, I'm sure, after Trump becomes our official president. Now, for my New Year's celebration, it was very comfortable, very relaxed. We did reading, right? So last time we talked about the books that you're going to read, and I talked about the book that I was going to read called Lean Startup. I finished that book, so I'm very happy. And then for the actual New Year's Eve and day celebration, my wife and I stayed inside the house and just watched Netflix. That's it. Yeah.
Sounds great. I didn't forget about your book. In fact, when I was in the airport in Denver, Colorado, I especially went to the bookstore to buy that book.
Nice.
And I guess it's so popular that it was sold out. But I liked what you told me about it, so I'm going to get a copy.
Great. Also, you remember how we talked about Third Place Books, the bookstore near your house?
Yes. I
tried to look for the book there. Sold out. It's a very popular book.
So I guess you have to order it specially.
Exactly.
I'll do it.
Now, you mentioned for your holiday, for your vacation, you said that you ate a lot. And I mentioned to you that I just stayed inside. It's now 2017, so I wanted to talk a little bit about our health. Like, what are we going to do about our personal health for this year, right? When people talk about personal health, they usually think of physical health, working out, running, jogging, exercising, yoga. I want us to talk about all kinds of health. So, diet, mental health, emotional health, all of the other things that could help us live a healthier and more comfortable life. So I'm curious, for you, Jane, are you doing anything now, or will you start doing anything new to work on your health?
I am always paying attention to my health because I have never been a really sick person, but I have always had small things, digestion problems, etc. So I have always paid attention ever since I was a very young adult. However, more and more I pay attention to my health by meditating, by working on changing my perceptions so that I am in a much more light-hearted mood. I always start every day with a meditation, and it seems very important to me. If I miss it for a day or two, I notice that I'm in a grumpy mood, or yes, it's turning out to be very important. I, like most people, ate too much, had a lot of chocolate, drank wine over the holidays, and like almost everybody, I start the new year with resolutions to eat more healthfully. I am a former dancer, so I still can't stop moving. If I'm cooking in the kitchen, I'm doing some dance steps from ballet, pliés or kicks, or I can't stop moving. But I am really not good at all about going to a gym or keeping a specific exercise schedule. That's something I want to work on, but I have found you have to make it easy for yourself. Your exercise place needs to be in your house or near your house. You have to really enjoy it, and you have to find it, you have to feel very good afterwards.
How do you meditate? There are many different ways to meditate. How do you do it? How do you meditate?
I would say that it has evolved for me. I first started meditating or trying to meditate just by reading books, and my mind was always running everywhere. Then in 2003, I went to a retreat with a famous Vietnamese monk, Thich Nhat Hanh, whom you may know, in the Colorado Rockies. And it was a great experience. He is a very engaged Buddhist. He believes in mindfulness. He does not believe in holding yourself away from the real world. So I began to follow some of his very simple principles and some of his, I guess you would say, some of his prayers, mostly just paying attention to what is going on in the present moment. But I also have used other people's advice. There is a young woman named Gabrielle Bernstein who does some very interesting work, and I have started to pay attention to some of her processes as well. I am very eclectic.
The Buddhist monk who you mentioned, is very famous in the world.
Yes.
That's amazing. Did you meet him?
Yes.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yes. There were probably 500 to 800 people there. So I didn't shake his hand, but he was going into the restroom as I was leaving, and we nodded and smiled at each other. That was good enough for me.
Absolutely. That's fantastic.
No, it was fantastic.
So you meditate every morning?
Yes.
For how long?
Oh, that's the problem. Sometimes when I'm trying to meditate, my mind wanders away and I lose track of time. So actually meditating and really meditating in the sense of focusing clearly on just the present and emptying my mind, probably only 5 or 10 minutes. I probably spend half an hour trying to get to that point.
Meditation takes practice. That's my understanding.
Yes.
Like learning a language, like playing baseball, learning how to meditate is a process, and it takes time. So I'll be curious to hear about your meditation later this year. How have you improved?
Thank you.
This year is going to be a very active year for me. Let me start by explaining how my life and my health were back in 2016. In 2016, I stopped exercising, and I also had a very bad diet. I wasn't eating healthy. I was eating lots of junk food, snacks, chips, candy, and I would also eat fast food a lot. I was lazy. I didn't want to cook. I always relied on my wife to make food, and when she was too busy to cook, I would just go to a fast food restaurant. Yeah, I know that reaction. I agree with that reaction. I would go to get fast food. I gained about 15 to 20 pounds last year. Yeah, thank you. You can't. I appreciate that you can't see it. I have learned how to hide it, how to hide my weight. But I think worst of all was my energy level. I was always so tired in the day. I would always want to take a nap at 2:00. And I just felt so exhausted. There's another word, lethargic. Lethargic means you feel very lazy and tired and slow.
Yes.
So I felt very lethargic. This year, I decided to change everything and go back to my level of fitness back in 2014. In 2014, I was much more fit, much healthier, and I had much more energy. So, here's what I've been doing. First, about 4 to 5 times a week, I go practice self-defense, Krav Maga. I signed up for a membership at my old school in Renton, and I go train for an hour per class. And then at home, I practice yoga 2 to 3 times a week. But this yoga is a more intense yoga. There's not a lot of focus on meditation. but definitely more focus on stretching and fitness. And then I'm also doing a 100 push-up challenge where in 6 weeks, I should be able to do 100 push-ups. Lastly, I bought what are called ankle weights. Yep. So I have these ankle weights that are 3 pounds per bag. And I tie these ankle weights around my ankle so that I can have another way to exercise throughout the day. Exercise is good. However, if I have a bad diet, then it's not really effective. So, I've also changed my diet. No more beer, no more fast food, no more snacks, no more candy. My diet is pretty strict. In the morning, I have 3 eggs, scrambled eggs. For lunch, I have a salad, a big bowl of salad, vegetables, and maybe 1 egg or maybe a little bit of meat and protein. And then for dinner, I have another light meal, maybe a piece of chicken or another salad or tofu. That's it. Like, that is my diet every day. I also have coffee. I cannot stop drinking coffee. So I have Vietnamese coffee twice a day. However, I also include protein into my coffee.
Oh.
A protein mix. So that way I can have more protein to help me improve my muscle structure. Now, if I have a craving for a snack, something sweet, we call that a sweet tooth. I have a sweet tooth, meaning I love to eat sweet things. Then I cut an apple. I eat an apple, and I eat apple with peanut butter. Natural peanut butter, no sugars, just regular plain peanut butter. That keeps me full and happy for my next meal. So I've improved my exercise and I've improved my diet. My goal, Jane, is to lose 20 pounds by the end of March. So right now we're in
middle of, so
almost
you're looking at 11 or 12 weeks.
Exactly.
Right?
11 to 12 weeks. It's going to be difficult. It's
Yes.
going to be difficult, but I feel very motivated, and I also have enough self-control to manage my diet. Whenever I tell myself I'm going to stop eating something or start exercising, I do it. I'm really good at maintaining that. So I think I can reduce my weight by 20 pounds in 10 weeks. The most dramatic improvement so far has been my energy.
Good.
I'm not
Great.
tired during the day. It's great. I have more energy, which makes me more productive. That's really good because I have 2 companies. We have this podcast, and I'm going to have a baby soon.
Yes.
I need as much energy
Yes, you do.
as I can get. But right now, I feel like everything I'm doing is in preparation for the baby. So that's it. That's my goal for 2017.
Good for you. And I think nothing could possibly be more motivating than your first baby.
Oh my gosh. Many of my friends keep saying, you're going to be so tired.
Yes.
And that's true. My wife is going to work, and I am going to stay at home and take care of the baby while working on my 2 companies and this podcast. So I need as much energy as possible. Yeah. So I look forward to telling you about my health progress in a couple of months.
And I'll be watching.
Thank you for listening to this episode of LPLE. Let's practice listening in English from Dialogue FM. Subscribe to LPLE on iTunes to hear the latest episodes, or listen to past episodes on our website, dialogue.fm. That's dialog.fm. If you have questions or comments about English, or if you would like for us to use a word, grammar, or idiom in our conversation so you can learn how to use it correctly, we would love to hear from you on Twitter at dialogue.fm or Facebook at facebook.com/dialoguefm.